Oh, Laura, not interrupting you, am I?
Morning, Mr. Brittis.
Just a tad concerned. Third day of Energy Conservation Week, and consumption's actually gone up.
Maybe it's all the photocopying.
So, I thought a little survey might be helpful. If we get the staff to fill in one of these for every electrical item in the building, then we'll be able to know when the most cost-effective savings can be made.
4 or 5 pages, is it?
Yes, I've combined it with a safety check to save paper. So, if you could take them round, make sure people have got enough copies. You want to keep one back for yourself, of course, for the tape recorder.
Oh, good.
You want to move your arms up further than that.
Sorry?
To get the full benefit on your subclavius. You've got to stretch. That's it, that's good. In fact, that's very good.
You're not usually in this early, are you, Mr. Brittis?
No, this is normally family breakfast time. They're all down in Cornwall.
I thought you were taking a holiday next week.
I am, Laura. Unfortunately, Helen got a bit confused over the dates and booked the wrong week.
So they've gone on holiday without you?
Funnily enough, they made exactly the same mistake last year. Still, these things happen, eh?
Uh-huh.
Please, allow me. There you go.
How are you managing?
Pardon?
Well, you know, for food and things, I just wondered if...
Oh, no problem there, Laura. Helen left the deep freeze packed full. Pizzas, mainly. But plenty of varieties. You never get bored.
If you fancy a change, you're welcome to come round for supper.
Supper?
Tonight, if you like. It's what you don't have to decide right away.
No, Laura. I'm very grateful. Thank you very much. And I'll do the form for you.
Form?
For the tape recorder. I'll fill in the details. One good turn deserves another.
Oh, smells good, Carol.
Would you like one, Tim? Oh, Ben's having a few friends round for tea this afternoon, and I don't like buying them things from the shops.
Oh, very good. Oh, try one of these, Colin. Yeah, I won't, thank you, Tim. These products have a rather unfortunate effect on the flaky skin under my armpits. I was wondering if either of you could help me at all.
Yes, of course, Colin.
What can we do for you? Have either of you been to the toilet today?
This isn't Britas, is it?
Pardon?
Only I thought we decided at the last staff meeting we weren't going to cooperate with a bowel movement chart.
Look, this is a personal project, Tim. I'm trying to get a realistic estimate of the raw material available for the methane generator I've constructed in the basement.
Oh, you want to know if we can...
I need a constant supply of material passing through the system, you see, and I was hoping that the staff
I'm
would...
sorry, Colin. I'm afraid I'm a straight after breakfast man myself.
Carol?
I'm afraid I don't like the idea.
It's not compulsory, Carol. It's just we all have to go. So why not channel it into something that creates energy and helps to save the environment? It's the special toilet at the far end of the squash court, if you change your minds. All right.
Chocolate buns and a chat with Colin. It's days like these that make my life worth living.
Excuse me. Oh, welcome to Whitby Newtown Leisure Centre, and how may I help you?
I'm looking for Mr. Featherly. I think he works here.
Oh, you mean Gavin? I think he's in the staff room. I'll just check. Hello, staff room. Is Gavin in there? I have a young lady in reception. Who shall I say is calling?
Jennifer Pelham Young. I'm his fiancée.
Is everything all right, Carol? Yes, I'm fine, Judy. It's just that this young lady is looking for Gavin. She's his fiancée. Gavin's fiancée?
He does still work here, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah, where is it? It's just that it's...
Everything all right, Carol? There was a hell of a crash on the intercom.
It's fine, thank you, Tim. Tim, have you seen Gavin?
Yes, he's up in the office, I think. Britas wanted him.
All right, I'll take you up. Come on.
Thank you.
Who's that, then?
What?
The woman to Sir Gavin. I just wondered who she was.
No one at all. It's just... Oh, Tim. It's so awful. You poor baby.
Come in.
Have you seen Gavin?
I'm afraid Gavin's gone into town for me, Julie, to get a 3-amp fuse.
All right. Only I've got his fiancée here.
Fiancée? Well, don't leave her outside. Bring her in. How do you do, Gordon Britta's manager?
Jennifer Pelham Young. I hope I'm not disturbing you.
Oh, no, not at all, no. Please, sit yourself down. Gavin's fiancée. We had no idea, did we, Julie?
Certainly didn't.
I've been away for a while. In fact, I only flew into Heathrow this morning.
Ah, so he doesn't know you're here?
It's a sort of surprise.
I'd say it will be.
Now I'm here, here, to be honest, I'm rather nervous. Well, maybe he won't want to see me. I mean, 5 years is a long time.
And you're worried he might have found someone else, are you?
Well, I could hardly blame him.
I think we can reassure you on that score, Jennifer. In all his years here, Gavin has not so much as looked at a girl. Am I right, Julie?
Spot on, Mr. Brittus.
You're sure about that?
Absence is a great test of any relationship, Jennifer, but I think your Gavin has passed with flying colours.
Such a relief.
Oh, shall I go and see if he's back yet?
If you would, Julie, and you'll bring him straight up here.
You bet I will.
Come on, Tim. Probably doesn't mean anything.
How could it not mean anything?
I've been out with lots of men who were engaged. I promise you, it doesn't make any difference.
I just don't understand. How could he lie to me all these years?
Maybe it's a mistake.
What?
Maybe she's just confusing him with another Gavin Featherly. You know, she's got the wrong leisure centre.
Do you think so?
I think it's the only possible explanation.
Yes. Yes, you could be right. I always overreact like this.
Got in. Thought you'd like a word before I take him up to Brittus.
What is all this? What's going on? Tim?
You've had a visitor.
Yes?
She has some story about being your fiancée.
Jenny? Jenny's here? Oh, I knew this would happen.
Colin? Ah, Laura. Just in time for coffee.
Mr. Brittus wants everyone to fill in one of these forms for each item of electrical equipment. Colin, what is all this?
It's a methane digester, Laura.
Yes.
It's my contribution to Energy Conservation Week. You see, what I've done is bypass the waste pipe from the toilet upstairs so that it comes down into this settlement tank here, where hungry enzymes eat up the material, producing methane gas, which is burnt in here, producing steam, which turns this generator and produces electricity.
I thought Mr. Brittus only said you should do a feasibility study.
That's what I'm doing, Laura, finding out if it's feasible, and it is. I'm not just going through the motions. And as a byproduct, it produces water safe enough to use even in coffee.
That's wonderful, Colin.
You're in luck. You're going to see it in action.
Oh, good.
Thank you for your cooperation. Your waste products are now being recycled. Please call again soon. Now, we've just got to wait for the material to work its way through the system. And there you have it, you see? Power!
It's not exactly the national grid, is it?
Which is why I am in the process of fitting a transformer, which will increase the power to domestic voltage. There's only one problem, Laura. There's not enough material coming through the system. I've had a word with the staff, but most of them prefer to go first thing in the morning at home. I don't know if you have any suggestions.
Do you know, I'm going to have to leave that one with you, Colin.
Domestic voltage.
So, both your parents are dead?
I believe so.
I am sorry about that. Do you remember anything about them?
Sadly not. I'm an amnesiac, you see. I can't remember anything before my 16th birthday. After that, it's all quite clear, but before, nothing.
I see.
I'm told they were scientists specialising in the study of oceanic mammals. People say I should be very proud of them, but I don't remember. It's very annoying.
Yes, they probably did. Anyway, when did you and Gavin get engaged?
When I was 18. 5 years, 7 months and 14 days ago.
I've got him.
Oh, thank you, Tim. And here he is, the man himself.
Hello, Jenny.
Oh, Gavin, it's so wonderful to see you.
I've got your fuse, Mr. Brittus.
Come on, Gavin, that's no way to greet a fiancée you haven't seen for 5 years. Give her a proper kiss. And don't worry, we've seen it all before, haven't we, Tim? That's more like it. Right, now, you two lovebirds are going to want to spend some time alone together. The restroom, I suggest, Gavin. And don't you worry about setting up the volleyball court. Tim and I will do that, won't we, Tim?
Tim, I...
Go on, off you go. Who'd have thought it, eh, Tim? Did you know they're engaged?
No, I didn't.
Well, he's certainly landed on his feet, hasn't he? Beautiful, intelligent, and apparently rather wealthy. The ideal partner, I'd say.
Yes, perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Tim, do I detect a note of bitterness there?
Bitter? Why would I be bitter?
It may not be obvious to you, but to a trained observer, your body language is saying, I hurt. You're not happy about Gavin getting married, are you? Let me tell you something, Tim. I had a chum once. We shared a flat, just like you and Gavin. In fact, we shared everything together. Whenever he went out, wherever he went, I was always there with him. And then suddenly, without warning, I came home one evening to find out he'd gone to live in Borneo. Friendships are like that, Tim. Sooner or later, they come to an end. We just have to accept it.
But how could he do it to me, Mr. Brittus?
Tim, I think the best thing is for you to think about how Gavin must be feeling. Think about how happy and excited he must be at the prospect of spending the rest of his life with someone beautiful and gorgeous and warm-hearted and who obviously adores him. Now, you wouldn't want him to miss out on that, would you? Is that any help, Tim? I thought it might.
Another form for Mr. Brittus, I'm afraid, Carol. He's worried about saving electricity.
Oh, I'm all for that, Laura. I try and save where I can, which is why I have a microwave.
Hey, you got a microwave?
Uses 70% less power than a conventional cooker, Laura. We have to worry about the world's resources. Do you know, sometimes I have nightmares about the kind of world that little Ben and the twins are going to grow up in.
Yes, it worries me.
So I always try and use a full load in the washing machine. Always use the economy setting.
You have a washing machine?
A washer-dryer, Laura. The babies, you know.
I thought there was only one PowerPoint behind there, Carol.
There is.
Ah, you use adapters.
So, that's just the one for is it, Laura?
I think we'll miss you out of this one, Carol.
Excuse me?
Welcome to Whitby Newtown Leisure Centre, and how may I help you?
Yeah, I just wondered if the young lady was ready yet. Only the meat is still ticking away.
Oh, you must be the taxi for Gavin's fiancée. I'll just see if I can locate her.
Did you say Gavin's fiancée?
Yes, she came down from Heathrow this morning.
Only the clock's up to 240 quid now, you know, I just...
Gavin? That's a fiancée?
Yes, she's in the staff room. I'm just going to give her a call.
Let me do this.
Well, there's this one, the Rectory in Nottinghamshire, which doesn't have a swimming pool but has 7 bedrooms and bigger stabling.
Yes.
Sorry to disturb you. There's a taxi outside.
Oh, goodness, I'd forgotten about him. He'll want some money, won't he?
About £240, I gather.
Right. On second thoughts, maybe we should ask him to hang on. Well, we'll need him this afternoon, won't we, darling?
Well...
You're house hunting?
You have to get onto these things so quickly, don't you? That's why we're going out this afternoon.
This afternoon? I thought you were on pool duty.
Oh, hadn't thought of that.
He doesn't have to do it, does he?
Well...
Oh, Mr. Brittus is very strict about that sort of thing, Jenny, isn't he, Laura? Oh, nobody's allowed to make changes to the timetable.
But these are very special circumstances, Gavin. I'm sure Mr. Brittus would understand. I'll go and talk to him. And I'll have a word with the taxi driver on the way. Love you. Love you.
Gavin, what the hell is going on?
Oh, Laura, please.
Are you seriously telling us you're engaged to that girl?
Well, technically, yes.
Technically? What does that mean?
It's complicated. It's not easy to explain.
Well, I think you should try. Let's start at the beginning, shall we?
It was all a long time ago, Laura. I'd been sent away to relations in Derbyshire. There'd been a bit of trouble at the local gym. There was a court case. Anyway, I met this girl.
Jenny?
Yes, we seemed to get on really well. You know, we like the same sort of things. And anyway, on my 19th birthday, I asked her to marry me.
Just like that?
I had a lot of advantages at the time, Laura. Anyway, before anything had happened, she had a relapse and got sent back to the mental home. Which is where she's been ever since.
I'm sorry, Gavin. If you'd rather not talk about it.
Oh, no, I don't care who knows anymore.
It's all right. He says he don't care anymore.
What sort of a mental home, Gavin?
What's a private clinic in Scotland?
When she's been banged up there for 5 years.
And you haven't seen her?
Well, I wrote to her. The doctor said it was important, so I wrote every week.
But you didn't tell her about Tim.
No. No, I didn't.
I think you ought to, Gavin.
Oh, how can I, Laura? She's just told me the whole reason she's cured is because I gave her something to live for. If I let her down now, she'll be right back to where she started. Oh, I don't know what to do.
Gosh, it's not easy, is it?
Oh, I mean, there's something rather impressive about it, isn't there? A young, full-blooded male whose fiancée goes away for 5 years and he doesn't so much as look at another woman. And it can't have been that easy, can it? I mean, there's temptation everywhere, we all know that. And from some very attractive ladies. I suppose the best thing to do, Tim, is remember that while our loved ones are away, a promise is still a promise. And we will have to face them when they get back... When they get back from Cornwall in a week's time. I wonder would you mind taking a little note to Laura for me? It's just that Gavin has reminded me of a rather important principle. So if you could just give this to Laura, with my regrets, of course, and I hope she's not too disappointed. Would you do that for me? Come in. Oh, Jenny, what can I do you for?
Sorry to bother you, Mr. Brittas.
Gordon, please.
I just wanted to ask if you'd mind if Gavin and I went house hunting.
Thanks, Tim.
Only, somebody said there might be a problem with his pool duty.
He is on this afternoon, yes.
Well, could you get somebody else to do it? Only we've got 2 places to see this afternoon, and tomorrow I was going to...
Whoa. I'm afraid our timetable is delicately balanced and poised to give a structured duty roster of shared responsibilities, Jenny.
You mean...
We never make changes to our timetable.
Are you saying I can't go?
Not with Gavin, I'm afraid, no. I'll tell you what. He's off on Sunday. You can have all day together then. Is that all right, Jenny? Jenny? Jenny?
Yes, of course. Thank you so much. I have to go now.
If you have any other problems, Jenny, just come back and tell me, all right?
Oh, Colin, the very person.
Yes, Laura.
There's a notice on the Star from Lavatory that says danger, 50,000 volts. There's another one in the main toilet block that advises the public not to sit down because rodding is in progress. What's it all about, Colin?
Well, it's all part of a little subterfuge I've been putting into effect, Laura. You see, I'm trying to channel all the lavatory usage of this centre through the toilet at the back of the squash courts. That way, you see, all the material ends up in my...
Methane digester, yes.
It's in a very good cause, Laura. I calculate this entire leisure centre could be self-sufficient by February, if only everybody would push...
Yes, I think we know what you want us to do, Colin, but I would be grateful if you left the staff ladies out of it. What are these, Carol?
Oh, the taxi driver brought them in. They're Jenny's.
They can't stay here. I'll take... Good grief! What's she got in here?
I think it's petrol.
What?
It's none of my business, but I couldn't help noticing the stuff seeping out, so I just opened it and tightened the top of one of the cans.
It is petrol. What's she got in the others?
Oh, Laura, I really don't think we should go...
Firelighters and kindling.
It's extraordinary what people think they need on a journey, isn't it?
Can I help you?
Oh, hello. I seem to have lost an earring, and it was rather dark in here, so...
Oh, you don't want to use a match? Not down here. You can cause a very nasty fire doing that.
Do you think so?
Oh, it's an arsonist's paradise down here, jammed full of combustibles. It's not just the wood shavings and the oily rags, you see. It's the oxyacetylene, cylinders, cans of paint, old newspapers.
Where are they?
Over there under that tank. And that, of course, is the biggest danger of all.
Really?
Methane gas, highly inflammable.
How very interesting.
Oh, it's a little something I've been working on that powers that generator and lights up that bulb.
Goodness, does it really?
Of course, it's more impressive when it's actually working, but we are rather dependent on whether anybody upstairs... I'd set it going for myself, but today I've already... Oh, I don't know. I could give it a shot. I'll tell you what. I'll go upstairs. Give me 5 minutes. No, you better make that 10. And when you hear the flush, just you keep your eyes on that bulb.
What the hell is going on, Carol? Is There's a notice on my executive washroom door saying, beware acid spillage. When I come down to the toilet on the floor below, by which time I'm in no mood for jokes, I see another notice saying, no entry, adverse weather conditions. And there's another one.
I think it's Colin, Miss Brittis.
Colin? Oh, I'd have known it. Where is he?
The resources recycling unit.
The where?
You remember you said he could have that little room between the boiler and the pool chemical plant?
I said he could be buried in it, Carol. But when I find it, he probably will be.
It all comes down to her parents, you see.
It's always the parents, isn't it? Glad I didn't have any. What about the parents?
Well, they died when she was 16. Their plane crashed when they were flying out to the Bering Straits to rescue a dolphin trapped on the ice there. They did a lot of that sort of thing, flying around, saving dolphins.
You can't have left a lot of time for Jenny.
None at all, really. That was the problem. The doctors say that when her parents died, it set up this conflict in her mind. On the one hand, she felt really angry because her parents had left her again, but she couldn't express it because everyone kept telling her what saints they were.
So she blotted them out of her mind.
The amnesia, right. But she still had the anger, and she couldn't let it out in any normal way, so...
She set fire to things. An arsonist.
Yes.
Just as well she's cured now, isn't it? Gavin, do you know what hospital she was in?
Why?
I think it might be an idea if you gave them a ring.
I'll kill him. Where are you, Colin? Good grief! Oi, what are you doing? Help me! Help! Help me!
Right. Bye. You're absolutely right. She's not cured at all. She was on day release to visit an aunt. They've been trying to trace her all day.
Gosh, what do we do now?
Well, they're arranging a private ambulance. The doctor's flying down by a helicopter. He'll be here in an hour.
I think we should keep an eye on her all the same. Where is she?
I wonder if anyone here could do me a favour.
Later, Colin. Has anyone seen her since she went to Brittis's office?
I'm looking for a volunteer to use the downstairs toilet.
That was quarter of an hour ago. She can't still be there.
I rather overestimated my own capacity, and I have promised the young lady...
Colin, this is important.
Young lady.
You mean Jenny?
Who's Jenny?
Long red hair, check jacket.
That's the one, and I promised to show...
Where is she?
In the basement.
Right. Linda, you and I will go down and keep her in conversation. Gavin, you better put those suitcases somewhere she can't find them.
Yes, right. Look, Dr. Baumberger says the important thing is not to let her get upset or frustrated.
Absolutely. We mustn't let her get angry. Where's Mr. Brittis?
What's wrong with House-Hampton? Why don't you let him go, you selfish swine? You don't care, do you? You just don't care. I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. You're just like my parents.
This is a girl who can't express anger.
Jenny, it's all right.
What?
It's me. It's all right.
Oh, I'm sorry. He made me so angry. Reminded me of my parents.
Jenny, you don't remember your parents.
Yes, I do. Gavin, I remember everything.
She okay?
Yes. Yes, I'm fine.
Come on, Jenny. Come on. You come along with us. Come on. This way. That's it.
You're right, Mr. Brittis.
Just get me out of this thing, please, Laura.
Quite a strong girl, wasn't she, Mr. Brittis?
We're going to need a hacksaw, Colin.
Right-o, Laura. Don't worry, Mr. Brittis. You're quite safe now. We're here.
Thank you for your cooperation. Your waste products are now being recycled. Please call again soon.
The ambulance is leaving, if you wanted to say goodbye.
Not particularly.
Dr. Baumberger has asked me to tell you how grateful he is.
Grateful?
Apparently, at the hospital, they've been trying to get Jenny to release her feelings like that for years. They could never make her angry enough. They say it's a real breakthrough for her. All these years she's been trapped in her past, and now suddenly she's free. And it's all thanks to you.
Me?
The doctor said he'd quite like to talk to you about it sometime. Find out how you did it.
Did he?
He said you have a very special talent.
Well, Laura, I mean, it's...
Oh, I got your note, by the way.
Sorry?
About not wanting supper. That's fine. No problem.
So they're taking her back to the clinic, are they?
Not for long, they think.
The doctor reckons she's well on the way to recovery.
It's like a miracle.
Mr. Brittis, I don't know how to thank you.
It's all right, Gavin. Think of it as an early wedding present.
There isn't going to be a wedding, Mr. Brittis.
That girl's depending on you, Gavin. You can't just cast her aside because she's mentally unstable.
No, it's not that.
Some very successful marriages are to mentally disturbed ladies. At least you have the advantage of knowing beforehand and not finding out 2 days into the honeymoon.
I'm sorry, Mr. Brittis. I just couldn't go through with it.
You have to. You made a promise, Gavin Featherlin. You can't go back on your word.
Believe me, Mr. Brittis, if things were different, there's nothing I'd like more. Are you ready to come home, Gavin? Thanks, Timmy. It wouldn't have worked.
There are few more depressing sights in this world, Linda, than a man going back on his word.
I think you're wrong, Mr. Brittis.
What?
About Gavin and Jenny. I don't think people can always decide what's the best thing to do just by a set of rules. Life's more complicated than that. The only thing any of us can really do is what we feel is right in our hearts. It may not be the easiest thing, but I think following our hearts is the only chance any of us get to find real fulfillment and happiness. Well, that's what I think anyway.
Is that you, Laura?
Oh! Mr. Brittis?
I was wondering if that invitation to dinner's still on.
Sorry?
I wondered if I could change my mind about supper.
What, you mean tonight?
If that's all right, yes.
Yes, that's fine.
Excellent. What time would you like me to come round at?
Could we talk about this after I finish my shower, Mr. Brittis?
Right, OK. I'll wait outside. And we can talk it over while you're getting dressed.